Hey guys, so today's video is going to be a real quick and short video all about the Voswitch JK100 auxiliary panel. So we decided to go with this system and this setup because I'm running essentially the same setup in my Gladiator. The biggest difference obviously is JK to JT, but also we're running this little panel here. It does come with a housing that will mount up inside here off of this little hook. I wasn't a huge fan of that. I wanted to run just this panel itself. If you run with that little housing, this panel just goes inside the housing and screws into it, but it comes that way. I unscrewed it and we're using a little ball mount. We'll get into the little details about that in just a minute. But essentially the reason that we decided to go with this Voswitch auxiliary panel is because we wanted to be able to power on and off different accessories. So for example, it's gonna be a little hard to show since Elizabeth's top is on the hoist right now, but she's got these KC Cyclone lights, chase lights. They're got amber covers on them on the back of her glass here on the hinges. So we had no way of being able to turn those on and off. So now we will be able to switch on these whenever she wants. So show you exactly where everything gets routed and wired to, how that works. So let's get under the hood. Okay, so under the hood on the driver's side, it comes with this bracket, just reuses existing bolts. The panel bolts right to it. It's all done. It's all wired, ready to go. And what we had to do was we had to run power over to the battery. We had to run a ground over. We went to the battery as well. And then they also give you another wire so you can do it off of ignition. So we ran that to one of the fuse taps in the Jeep fuse box. That way, like right now, with no doors, no top on, anybody could come up, power this on if it wasn't on ignition only. So we wanted it to be where nobody could just turn it on. So we ran to the ignition. So inside of here, you'll see all the relays, all the fuses, and then on the inside of the cover, just like any normal fuse box, you'll see a little diagram. So how this works is, for example, when the KC Cyclone lights, when we actually get them wired up, once we put our top back on, we'll run them inside the Jeep. We'll come into the engine bay. They'll go inside here, inside these little white prongs, and then you can run your cable through there, so then it's watertight. And then it'll come out here, and then it'll go to whichever block you want it to go to. So you'll run your cables that way, and then you'll have power to whichever cable or whichever switch that you decided to power it to or wire it to. Okay, so we just ran it across the back of the engine bay, runs across. It's this black power cable here, runs down, and then we go to our negative and then our positive. There's a fuse on it. And then we tapped in to here and here where we tapped into, and it tells you, we have little labels on ours, but this is where we tapped ours into. I can't tell you off the top of my head which number that is, but the instructions will show you. So how I ran it was we went through this little spot in the firewall. I don't know if I can show it. The lighting's not going to show me, but there's a spot right here in the firewall that we run cables through, and it just basically comes up inside here, and then we ran our cable right up to here and up to the switch panel, and it's got a plug on it so we can disconnect it quickly. What we decided to do is, because we have the vector mount, we've got the bulletproof Bulletpoint clamp, and this is a different style clamp than the ball style. Instead of having a ball on the end, it has just like the end of the arms. And I'll show that on the screen now, what that looks like and what that part number is, where you can get that from. But basically, we just wanted to shorten up our length here, so we went with that. And then it gives you the a short arm, and then we were able to put a different part number for the ball, that the ball mounts to the back of our panel here, and then the panel itself. So with all that being said, I think we're done in the engine bay. I'm going to go ahead and shut that up. So when the Jeep is on, go ahead and show you. When the Jeep has power, you can press that, boom. And then obviously each one lights up, whichever it is. And turn it off, turn it off. Okay, so now these buttons, these switches, come with a variety pack of different stickers and emblems. They just literally go over top of the button that you want to label it as, and they go on there. So I was just showing you mine. Hers is tucked in the glove box. Mine was accessible. I'll show you real quick what mine look like, just to give you a better idea. So you can see, like, I've got halo for the bottom one, cube lights, side lights, pod lights, and then they give you a little black one so you can cover up the lights so the whole thing isn't lit up. The other cool thing about the Voswitch is that the switches are programmable, so you can make them pulse, you can make them momentary, you can make them do a variety of different things. They give you all the information and the instructions on how to set that up, but it's just a simple little sequence on how to program them. It's really easy to do. So for example, on her Jeep, we're gonna have these chase lights. I could either have them on all the time, or like if I really needed to, I could set them to do a strobe. So that's all done in the programming of that switch, so then it would send power and make them strobe. That would be nice for like really dusty conditions, and I want people to for sure see me. If it's on solid, they'll probably still see me, but the strobe definitely will help for sure. Just wanted to give you guys a quick little video about the Voswitch JK100 and how all that is routed and mounted. I was really happy with how this result turned out. Super easy and functional, and if we don't end up liking it here and we wanted it in the middle, we could mount it in the middle. It's super versatile. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Catch you in the next one. See ya.